You're listening to The Reclaimed Life, a podcast about recognizing manipulation, reclaiming your voice, and rebuilding a life that actually feels like your own. I'm Rachel Paxton, an author, ordained chaplain, and certified mental health coach. And each week, I'll explore the patterns, dynamics, and turning points that help people rediscover who they truly are. There are some words we carry for so long that we never think to question what they mean. Love, grace, forgiveness, honor, loyalty. We assume everyone means the same thing when they use those words, but sometimes they don't. I've been thinking a lot about loyalty this week while writing the next chapter of my book. I've valued loyalty for as long as I can remember. I've always wanted to be someone people could count on. I wanted to be faithful to my commitments. I wanted to stay when relationships became difficult. I never wanted to be someone who gives up on people. So when I'm called disloyal, it breaks my heart. Not because someone disagrees with me, but because sometimes I believe them. Even now, I still find myself wrestling with that word. I don't think about it all the time, but every now and then something brings it back to the surface. I find myself wondering if we're all talking about the same thing when we use the word loyalty. For a long time, I assumed we were. I thought loyalty meant staying committed to a relationship, being honest, working through conflict, and continuing to care about someone even when things became difficult. It's taken me a long time to realize we may not always be talking about the same thing at all. Sometimes loyalty quietly becomes agreement. Sometimes it becomes silence. Sometimes it becomes protecting someone's image. Sometimes it becomes never saying the thing that needs to be said at all. When that happens, honesty can start feeling like betrayal, or maybe more accurately, that's what it begins to be called. I think one of the deepest griefs a person can carry is not simply losing a relationship, but wondering if telling the truth made them disloyal, wondering if speaking honestly somehow erased years of faithfulness, wondering if choosing not to keep pretending means they've become someone they never wanted to be. And I've realized something else. The deepest grief wasn't simply losing relationships, it was wondering if I'd lost part of myself. If loyalty has always been a part of your identity, being called disloyal doesn't just make you question a decision, it makes you question who you are. That kind of grief doesn't disappear overnight. Sometimes it quietly follows you into new relationships, new conversations, and new seasons of life. Sometimes it still whispers when you least expect it. I don't think this conversation is about finding the perfect definition of loyalty. I'm not sure healing works that way. I think it's about becoming curious enough to ask whether the meaning we've carried all these years is the only one possible. And maybe that's what I've been doing. Not trying to redefine loyalty, just gently untangling it. Because I've started wondering if the words themselves aren't what become heavy. Maybe it's the meaning they've quietly gathered along the way. I'd like to leave you with the blessing I wrote after finishing this chapter. May grace gently untangle the words that have grown heavy. May you discover that love and honesty were never meant to stand against each other. May your heart find the freedom to hold both with quiet courage. Thank you for spending time with me today. Until next time, keep reclaiming your life, one quiet step at a time. Thank you for listening to The Reclaimed Life. If something in this episode resonated with you, you're not alone. Many people are beginning to recognize unhealthy patterns in relationships, systems, and environments, and discovering that reclaiming their voice is possible. In future episodes, I'll explore topics like recognizing manipulation, understanding narcissistic dynamics, rebuilding self-trust, and learning how to create a life that actually feels like your own. If you'd like to explore more of these ideas, you can visit my website at thereclaimlifepodcast.com, where I share additional writing, resources, and future episodes of the show. Until next time, take a moment to listen to your intuition, trust what you're beginning to see, and remember that reclaiming your life often begins with one honest question. This is the reclaimed life.